Hey, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first video that I'm filming, so please forgive me if there's any awkward pauses or if the audio or video isn't perfect. The plan for today's video will be to go through my finished objects, my works in progress, and my acquisitions. So my first finished object of 2026 is it's a little wrinkly, but it's my Ivy cardigan by Petite Knit. So this cardigan I knit up using Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in artichoke purple. Just looking at my notes, I used almost 7 skeins of mohair, just shy of 7 actually, 6.8. And I knit this up using 3.5mm needles, and it was just the 3.5. I found this a little bit difficult while doing the increases because I kept on picking up just one strand of mohair instead of both of them. So I made a few holes, but that was pretty easy to fix afterwards by just stitching those holes together. It doesn't bother me too much. This was a pretty nice and easy cardigan because all of the bind offs are just a knitted bind off. There's no Italian bind off. I hadn't done that since maybe my first project ever. So it was just nice and easy. It didn't take long at all. The only thing I would say that I would want to change about this is the neckline. Just it feels a little bit like wonky or crooked. So I don't know how I would change that, but just something I want. The sleeves, at first I felt like I made them too short, but while trying it on, they do feel like they're a little long and wide. However, I can just roll them up and it's no big deal. So just a note for next time as well. It's a pretty cropped cardigan. Like it hits me just at my hips. So maybe if I knit this again, I would add maybe a few centimeters extra if I wanted it a bit longer, but as well, I don't mind the fit. I got my buttons off of Amazon. They are 13mm heart buttons. I'll bring this up closer. They're pretty cute in my opinion. I sewed them on a little wonky as well, but that's nothing new here. But yeah, the buttons were pretty nice. I couldn't really find mother of pearl buttons anywhere, but I decided on these heart buttons and I like them pretty well. And that's my first finished object of 2026, Ivy cardigan by Petite Knit, if I didn't say that already. Oops. So next we're going to move on to my works in progress, which I have 4 works in progress. All right, this is my project bag, which I have my first work in progress in. This is my Camisole number 9 by My 5 Favorite Things Knitwear. This project has been on my needles since October 18th, 2025, which I thought this would take me maybe a month to complete. It's taken me obviously a lot longer than that. I have tried knitting the neckband and I kind of failed at that, so I had to try it again. I ripped it out and now it's back on my needles and I'm just trying to do it again. I don't know if you can tell, but the fabric is like pretty see-through, so I don't know how that's gonna work out like wearing wise. Like in the pictures that the designer has, it looks like it's a pretty opaque garment. But yeah, I'm knitting this up in Knitting for Olive Pure Silk in the color Brown Bear. I bought 3 skeins of this yarn, and I've gone through 1 skein already. I'm working on my second one, and I have 1 skein to go. Yeah, this is being knit up on 2mm needles, by the way. Yeah, this is just a work in progress. I hope I can I can finish it soon. That's Camisole number 9 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. My next work in progress is being held in this tote bag. And this is the Kilometer Scarf by Florence Miller. This is what it looks like so far. I think I have maybe 60 centimeters completed. It's a pretty easy stockinette scarf with the Turkish bind on, or cast on, I should say. I've got these really cute duck stitch stoppers that I got from Galt House of Yarn. And this project is being knit up in Drops Air in the color 55 light beige. I bought 7 skeins of this. I've also got this really cute bumblebee stitch marker to mark the beginning of round, and it's just a pure stockinette project. It's really potato chippy, very mindless. Just excited to get this done. I started this project on December 24th of 2025, and I'm making it for my little sister. So hopefully she'll like it. This is the biggest one I have. I'm keeping it in this basket that I got from HomeSense or Winners or Marshalls, one of those 3. This is my Dagmar Jacket. I should say what I'm wearing, right? Today I'm wearing a Dagmar Jacket by Petite Knit, knit in Lion Brand Fisherman's Wool in the color Oatmeal, I believe. This Dagmar Jacket is in the color Natural, so you can see pretty well the color difference. I'm almost done this project. I'm just working on the sleeve. I've got about 3 more decreases to go, and then I can just follow the pattern and finish this up. I kind of got really eager and I just wanted to get the buttons on there. So I finished up the button band and the neck band. I've seen other people do a double knitted button band and neck band, but I just decided to keep the same one that I've done and tried. This is being knit up on 4.5mm needles, I believe. No, sorry, 5mm needles. The pattern calls for 4.5mm needles. And then like the ribbing for the sleeves, the neckband, and the button band are all in 4mm needles. I decided to go down a complete needle size, and it's worked out pretty fine. I don't know if you can tell, there's also a little flub. I don't know, I've seen people do like sweater surgery on cables and being able to fix their cables after they're done, but I don't have those skills yet. So that's just maybe something for the future, or, you know, just embrace the imperfections and go on with my day, which is likely what's gonna happen. Anyways, that's my Dagmar jacket. I hope to be done this maybe in the next 2 weeks. My most recent work in progress is being held in this big Ziploc bag. You might be able to tell already what it is. Maybe not. This is Nanna the lady duck. She is so cute. She is being knit up on 2mm needles using Filcolana Arwetta in the shades for the body 973, which I can't really find a name for. And then the bill and her eventual feet will be knit up in 198 Tangerine. And then I used some DMC embroidery floss for her bill and some safety eyes for her eyes, obviously. She's been so much fun to knit up so far. Just really I love a project that makes me focus a lot. Something that I really need to give my attention to 100%. It's just the greatest escape. And it's not mindless for sure, but just like I said, a lot of fun. So my acquisitions. First acquisition is a book, Moosh and Friends by Cynthia Valet. This is where Nanna the lady duck comes from. This book is just filled with patterns for about 10 or 12 characters. They're the cutest things I've ever seen, and I can't wait to do them all eventually. That's my goal. This was just such a big purchase for me. This was my first knitting book I've ever bought, so I'm excited. Other than the book, my acquisitions are pretty big. Includes all these colors of Filcolana Arwetta. There are 2 imposters in the form of this Lang Jawal yarn and the gray and green, which I had bought previously to work on a Triceratops by Claire Garland, which I just never got to. But now they're joining my collection of fingering weight colors that I can use. Like for example, I think for Hazel, the red squirrel, I believe, I'm gonna use this color here. And then for the orangutan, I forget his name now, but I'm gonna use this orange with probably some mohair that I'll get from my local yarn store. Yeah, this has been really fun. I'm super grateful to have gotten all of these yarns. By the way, I got them from Galt House of Yarn. Their shipping was so quick, and they're an almost local to me yarn store. Filcolana Arwetta, what can I say about it? It's super soft. I've never made a pair of socks out of these, but out of this yarn, but I feel like I would. Good. It just feels like it would be super hard wearing, super soft, just all the nice things that you'd be looking for in a pair of socks. So maybe if I have some left over, I can make a scrappy pair of socks, but we'll see. So far, the plan is just to use this all for stuffed animals. And that's all my knitting, knitting related stuff. My finished product, one Ivy cardigan by Petite Knit, my 4 works in progress, and my acquisitions. Thank you so much for watching.